Welcome to Greg Mortis's Little World of Horror. This is my Slash from the Stash, my weekly movie review, and I hope you enjoyed the first one I did last week on Compound Fracture. Once again, that was a double thumbs up movie that you must buy, must own. But this is a new week and a new movie we're going to review. But before we do that, as I'm recording this is Memorial Weekend. It's actually Sunday, and I wanted to go ahead and mention that to all the troops, to all the service people, everyone in the military, whether you're male, female, whether you served in the past or you're currently serving, I just want to say a deep, heartfelt thank you. It's because of you guys and gals that we're able to do what we do, the reason that we're free. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and I know the world is behind you 100% as well. Thank you for what you do each and every day, fighting for our freedom. So thank you that I'm able to do podcasting and different things, and viewers, you're able to watch movies and do the things that you do. It's because of the military that keeps us a free nation, a place that we're able to do what we're do. It's just awesome. So thank you so much for Memorial. This is for you guys. But the movie I want to look at this week is a movie that I'd recently picked up and done a Blu-ray DVD update, and I thought I'd go ahead and do a review of this. It is summertime. It is traditionally, back when I was a little youngster, a little tyke about that big, something I used to love to do was camping. Go with the family, and we'd go to a place in North Carolina called Lake Norman, and we'd go fishing and just pitch a tent and have a good time. And that's why, to me, 80s was such a good decade for horror movies, because there were so many great slasher flicks that came out in the 80s, and they, with the Friday the 13th series and different movies like The Burning that revolved around camping. And the movie I'm going to review this week, none other than Camp Dread, and I'll switch sides here, but it is Camp Dread. Stars Eric Roberts, and also Danielle Harris is billed as the second one. I'll get into that in our review. But I did pick this up a few weeks ago at Walmart for $9.96. Cool ass slipcover case. Pretty decent. I was looking, when I watched it, I didn't remember seeing, I don't think there's any special features. I don't remember seeing any when I was watching it. But anyways, it is a cool cover. I like that, with the whole camp deal. Got, of course, Eric Roberts and Danielle Harris on the cover. And it says, "Pitch your tent, dig your grave." And just a cool-ass cover that grabbed my attention right away, along with the fact that right there Danielle Harris is in it, and Eric Roberts, and Felissa Rose as well. But what did I think overall of this movie, you might ask? And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a good review of this, hopefully. You'll like some little gore scenes in here and some different hidden stuff going on. And it says a fun, funny, and at the times unpredictable good time that goes for broke, and that's from Dread Central. Absolutely love Dread Central. But overall, I'll go ahead and give you the plot of the movie. What I'll do is go ahead and just read it off the DVD box for you, and then I'll go into doing what I do, and that's review a movie for you and let you know what Greg Mortis thinks about it. It says, the Summer Camp Horror Trilogy was one of the most popular movie franchises of the 1980s. However, the decade ended, and so did director Julian Barrett's career. Now, Barrett plans to resurrect his gory series via a modern reboot patterned after reality filmmaking. With his former leading lady and an eclectic group of 10 young contestants, Barrett returns to the same locale where his old Splatterfests were filmed. When one of the campers is found savagely murdered, they discover there's more at stake than just fame and fortune. Each of them is in a fight for their lives as they realize summer is over forever. So that's the plot on the box. Just to kind of sum it up in Greg Mortis terms, basically what's coming up is Eric Roberts plays the character of Julian Barrett, who supposedly had directed the Sleepaway Camp trilogy back in the 80s, and through the success of that, he'd made a lot of money from that, but he's trying to bring back that old fame. So he does decide to open up a new film in the series, but this is going to be a reality-based style film where these 10 contestants are coming in, and they are from all walks of the world, and they are all troubled. Most of them are looking at jail time or worse, so basically they're dropped off at the camp with no hope except to get through this thing and survive. And then Julian ends up throwing in the little surprise that if you are the last sole survivor of this contest at Camp Dread, you'll win $1 million. So there you go. That's the whole setup of this movie. Now, to me personally, I'm a huge fan of the original Sleepaway Camp trilogy. I love them. And they're cheesy fun, especially the first one with, so many iconic scenes, and who can never forget the ending of the original. The acting of course, Felissa Rose and the whole cast. It was just a great film. Now, would I consider Camp Dread to be in the same ballpark as that? No. It's not going to be, to me, a cult classic. To me, it's a good film. It's a cheesy film. It's got kind of that 80s vibe to it, but it just doesn't have the same flair that original film had. So it left me a little wanting. But as we get into the movie, Danielle Harris does have the cover up here, and she has Sackett billing, but she's only in the film, fans. If you're watching this movie solely for Danielle Harris, you're only going to see her for about 5 minutes in the whole movie. So I will warn you up front, you're not going to see a lot of Danielle Harris. But with that said, you do get Felissa Rose, and she comes into this movie as, of course, in the storyline, she's the star of all 3 Sleepaway Camp films. She plays the character of Rachel. And she comes back, but now she, after her acting career, she went into being a counselor, so she's coming in to try to help these 10 contestants. She's trying to make them better people. So you put that into this film. You put Eric Roberts with his trying to make a great film with some hidden gems in there, and you got your storyline. I'll say out of the 10 contestants, there's a couple of really strong actors in this that I'm going to be looking out for. Some of the other ones are kind of forgettable. So, not saying they're not talented, it's just they're kind of forgettable characters. But there is the comedian in the crowd. I mean, with every horror movie, you always get that comedian, and you always get the serious one, you get the shy one. You've got it all in this film. They had definitely kind of their marks. Point A, point B, C, D. They did a rundown on this film, so I give them credit for that. And it was directed by Harrison Smith and written by Harrison Smith. It's not an original script by any means in my eye. The whole reality thing's been done. I mean, you can look at Wrong Turn. I believe it was 2 or 3, whichever one it was, that had the reality base. It's kind of been done before, but still, at the same time, it's a fun watch. It's enjoyable for me. The kill scenes, I will say, it took a long time for kills to actually start happening in this film. So there's a lot of building character up. And sometimes it was kind of, I'm not going to say boring, but I found myself kind of like, let's get on with the movie. But once the killings start, then you're like, okay, now I'm in a horror movie. Now I'm into a slasher style flick. And it's one of those movies that you don't know who the killer is. You kind of think in your mind, God, I don't remember how many times in this movie I was like, okay, I've got this pegged. This is the killer. And then they end up dead, and then you're like, well, shit. And you keep going on in your mind thinking, God, I've got this figured out. And by the end of the movie, would I say it's a total shock? No, but it is a shock. It's one of them that I thought they disguised it well, so I got to give them props for that as well. The killer is kind of a surprise. So very excited about that I was not able to kind of totally pinpoint who it was. And the makeup effects is by Cleve Hall, who had his show on Sci-Fi, Monsters Works, or whatever it was. And Cleve done a good job. I will give him that. The makeup effects in this one's pretty good. All the kill scenes, there's 2 in particular that I thought were really standout. There's one that's a good jump scare. kill scene that I thought was really well done. And then there's another scene, and I will not give it away, I will not give a spoiler, but I will say I've watched no telling how many thousands of different horror movies in my life, and to my knowledge I have never seen this kind of kill scene pulled off. And that's pretty amazing for me to be saying that, but I do not remember ever seeing it in a film, so I got to give them originality for this one kill. I won't say what happened or how it is or where it's in the film, but when you watch the movie you'll know what I'm talking about, so major props on that. So what do I thought about the film? Acting is decent in this film. There's some, Eric Roberts pulls off his character like he always does. Danielle Harris, for what few minutes she's in it, she's Danielle Harris. She does have a couple lines where she talks about she doesn't like horror movies and doesn't watch them. I get a chuckle out of that every time I even think about it, because that's what she's known for. And Felissa Rose was a standout, of course. She's always so talented. And there's another character in here, name's Montana, and I actually thought she done really good. And then there's a few others in here that's decent as well. So the acting was okay, kills were decent, storyline been done before, but with the one kill scene and the way it kind of flowed, I give them some decent props on that. The feel of the film is really good. The quality, it's definitely an independent flick, but it has the camera work and the overall appearance of the movie is definitely really well done, so that helped a lot as well. It doesn't look like a $2 film. I mean, it's definitely looked like it had a really higher budget behind it as far as the camera work and the effects, so I give them on that a good check for that. So overall, because of the two kill scenes, and there's several in them, don't get me wrong, but because of them two kill scenes and because of some of the standout acting, man, I've got to give this thing, as I've told you in my first episode, I will not rate these as a 1 to 10 as I do on Land of the Creeps. What I'll do is give you a thumbs up for a buy, I'll give you a thumbs side for a rent, or a thumbs down for trash it. So for Camp Dread 2014, I'm giving it a thumbs up. I think you should buy it. You can get it at Walmart for $9.96, Amazon, about anywhere has it, and I think it'd be a good addition. Do I add this in with the Sleepaway Camp trilogy? Of course, because they do mention it all throughout this movie. Does it hold up to those? I don't think so. I still like the original trilogy, but it's still as a standalone movie, and then you throw it kind of in. Watch all three Sleepaway Camps, then throw this one in and have fun with it. It definitely has that cheese factor going on in some of it. So overall, I mean, it is a decent watch, a good watch. I give props to the actors and different ones, so thank you for putting out a film that I enjoyed. I will be watching it again in the future, so it's not one that's going to be on my shelf collecting dust. So definitely, fans, get your hands on it. So with that said, definitely check me out on Land of the Creeps. You can check our podcast out. It's landofthecreeps.blogspot.com. Listen to our podcast. Comes out every 2 weeks, where myself, Haddonfield Hatchet, Sean Davis, Dr. Shock, and Jesse Robbins, where we review horror movies every 2 weeks. Series, movies, individual movies, and we've been doing this for quite some time. So if you enjoy your reviews, check us out. You can find us on iTunes at Land of the Creeps. You can find us if you have your cell phone, mobile phone, and you want to have it on your phone. You can definitely go to Stitcher and download the Stitcher app and listen to us and take us everywhere. Please do that, and just stay tuned with us. Facebook, you can check us out and all these different things. So this is Greg Mortis giving you a thumbs up for Camp Dread. Decent watch that I think you'll enjoy for your summertime needs. Check it out. So with that, this is me signing out with one more movie review. Stay tuned next week, same time, and I'll have you another one.